distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Arnold. I'm the president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Indonesia. Now in my 5th year living in Indonesia. Please join me in welcoming the Vice President of the United States, Mr. Michael R. Pence, and the Vice President of the Republic of Indonesia, Dr. H. Muhammad Yusuf Kalla. Vice President Pence is making his first official visit to the Asia Pacific, and we're honored that Indonesia is part of his itinerary. His visit to Indonesia is to emphasize the administration's continued commitment to U.S. partnership in the Asia Pacific region and to highlight the economic agenda. Vice President Kalla is no stranger to business, having run numerous companies as part of his family business. He hails from South Sulawesi, where his businesses are well known, successful, and respected. I am delighted to now invite Vice President Yusuf Kalla of the Republic of Indonesia to make brief remarks.
Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'm happy to see again all of you, and it's the second day of President. And this is the real meeting, because whatever we are here, important to see how we increasing the relationship between businessmen, of course, with country and country, and we hope that the President of Mr. Vice President here will be increasingly our relationship and, of course, the business side. We are like very much about this relationship. This because I know America is not new in investment of Indonesia, and you can see our future here with 250 million people, with stability and politics, of course. You can see yesterday, whatever noisy, but nowadays nothing happened, and all check hand. This is one thing that very important criteria how democratic way in Indonesia. And now on, what economy we can do togetherness. We need more energy, we need more investment in oil and gas, we need more in agriculture, because peoples, and Indonesian peoples, American peoples, needed cooperation with them. Again, thank you very much for all of you, and hope that this cooperation will be increasing our relationship and with the future of both economy in the region. Thank you very much.
It is now my honor to invite the Vice President of the United States of America, Mr. Michael R. Pence, to please speak.
Good morning. Good morning. Selamat pagi. Vice President Kalla, thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for your kindness and your hospitality. It was an honor to meet with you yesterday, discuss the economic partnership between the United States and Indonesia. I look forward to forging a strong relationship with you in the years ahead for the benefit of both of our nations. Thank you again. And thank you all for being here today. Ambassador Joe Donovan, Minister Ignatius Johnam, Brian Arnold, members of the American Chamber of Commerce in Indonesia, members of the Kadin, distinguished leaders of the business community, honored guests. It is my great honor to be here in Indonesia today on my first trip to Southeast Asia as Vice President of the United States of America. I just spoke to the President earlier this morning, and I bring greetings from the President of the United States of America to all those gathered here and to the people of Indonesia, President Donald Trump. Before I go any further, let me take a moment to address the terrorist attack that happened in Paris yesterday. This is just the latest reminder that terrorism can strike anywhere, at any time, something that the people of Indonesia and the United States know all too well. As President Trump said yesterday, in the face of this great evil, and I quote, "We have to be strong, and we have to be vigilant." Today, the people of Paris have our condolences and our prayers. The people of France are on our hearts today. And the people of Indonesia can be confident in the wake of this latest attack. We will not relent in our effort to end terrorism and the threat it presents to both of our peoples, and I pledge to you our continued cooperation against terrorism in the uncertain days in which we live. Thank you for letting me address that issue first. But let me also, on a lighter note, let me say it is a particular honor for me to be here on Kartini Day. Kartini was a pioneer of the women's movement here in Indonesia, and her example that has inspired Women's Emancipation Day is an inspiration, not only to this region, but to the wider world. It's heartening to see Indonesia's commitment to empowering women through education and to ensure that they have the opportunity to lend their voices and their talents to building Indonesia's future. In fact, there are 3 great examples in the room and more that are worth mentioning on this Kartini Day. I've had the great privilege to spend time with your Foreign Minister, Retno, who I believe will be visiting Washington, D.C. in the coming weeks, and we look forward to continued productive discussions. Also, I just finished conversations this morning with 2 of the most prominent women in Indonesia, speaking about expanding and strengthening our relationship between our 2 countries. Mari Elka Pangesta, the former Minister of Trade and Minister of Creative Economy. Thank you, Mari. And the Vice Chair of Kadin and the CEO of Syntesa Corporation, the distinguished Shinta Kandami. Shinta is here. Thank you so much. Would everyone join me in recognizing these and every other successful woman who is leading in public and private life on this Kartini Day? Yesterday morning, on President Trump's behalf, I had the great privilege to meet with President Joko Widodo, my friend, Jokowi, to reaffirm the United States' enduring commitment to our strategic partnership with Indonesia. We had a frank and open conversation. We discussed how our nations, the 2nd and 3rd largest democracies in the world, can further strengthen our partnership for our mutual benefit. A point I reiterated in my afternoon meeting with Vice President Kala and several government ministers. And yesterday, I met with ASEAN's Secretary General Min and the permanent representatives as a sign of the United States' strategic partnership with ASEAN and our steadfast commitment to the Asia-Pacific as a whole. It was my privilege in that moment to inform the Secretary General and the permanent representatives that President Donald Trump will attend the U.S.-ASEAN Summit, the East Asia Summit, and the APEC Leaders Meeting in Vietnam and the Philippines this November. I hope you all see this as what it is, a testament of the tremendous value that President Trump places on this vitally important region of the world. Our history here stretches back for generations, and our shared past is the foundation of our shared future. A future of security and prosperity for all our nations and the world. And the United States' economic relationship with Indonesia is central to that future. As the crossroads of the Asia-Pacific, Indonesia has a long shared, a strong commercial bond with the United States and our business community. American companies have done business in Indonesia for decades, and American products and services have greatly contributed to Indonesia's economic development and quality of life in recent years. And the American Chamber of Commerce in Indonesia has been there every step of the way. Since 1971, the American Chamber of Commerce, AmCham, in Indonesia has brought together U.S. and Indonesian companies to invest in this country and invest in our shared future. Today, AmCham boasts more than 250 business members, and your hard work has helped to strengthen the relationship between the United States, Indonesia, and the broader Southeast Asia region. And the same goes to all the businesses that are so well represented here today. Companies like Microsoft, Coca-Cola, J.P. Morgan Chase, Freeport, and really every business here. You've done yeoman's work promoting trade and economic growth on both sides of the Pacific. Your businesses create jobs, drive innovation, and open up opportunity in both of our countries. And thanks in no small part to your hard work, the stage is set for an even stronger partnership between the United States, Indonesia, and Southeast Asia. The truth is, American companies see tremendous potential throughout this region. across all 10 members of ASEAN, of which Indonesia is the heart. The United States exports more than $100 billion a year in goods and services, supporting nearly 550,000 jobs back in the United States. And combined, ASEAN's member nations are the top destination in Asia for U.S. investment, at nearly $274 billion. The investments here are more than the investments in China, India, and Japan combined. These numbers show the incredible. Thank you. That's a very impressive number. This incredible economic bond is testament in these numbers to the bond between the United States and Southeast Asia. And today, on President Trump's behalf, I have the honor to be here along with Vice President Kala and with American and Indonesian businesses as they sign historic agreements that will draw our nations even closer together to the benefit of jobs and opportunities for both of our peoples. All told, these companies are signing no fewer than 11 major deals worth more than $10 billion, and it's happening today. From Lockheed Martin upgrading Indonesia's Air Force, to GE and Applied Materials building electronic infrastructure, to ExxonMobil's sale of liquefied natural gas, these deals represent the tremendous excitement that American companies feel about opportunities here in Indonesia. President Trump and I are grateful. We're grateful to these businesses. This is truly a historic day for the U.S.-Indonesia economic partnership, but the best is yet to come. Would everyone please join me in thanking these pillars of prosperity for the steps that they're taking today to create jobs and opportunities in both of our countries. Despite the big announcements today, the truth is the United States and Indonesia can do much more, we believe, to improve our trade relationship. Last year, our two-way trade with Indonesia totaled about $30 billion, but American exports have actually fallen by more than 30% in the last 4 years. It's not for lack of trying, whether it's extending electricity to communities that lack it or building infrastructure, connecting Indonesia's 17,000 islands. American businesses are ready and willing to drive Indonesia's growth to an even greater extent. As President Jokowi and I discussed yesterday, we can and will do more to expand commerce and opportunity between Indonesia and the United States. Our goal is simple. We seek trade with Indonesia that is both free and fair. We seek to create a win-win trading relationship for both of our nations and all of our people. To that end, we will work with President Jokowi to reduce barriers to trade and investment and to create a truly level playing field where all our businesses have equal opportunity to market access. As many of you know, U.S. companies face many barriers and difficulties in the Indonesian market. These include intellectual property challenges, the lack of transparency, or requirements to manufacture, or include local content before being able to sell products to the Indonesian market. Just a few examples. While we appreciate President Jokowi's efforts to undertake economic reforms, especially easing business regulations, the truth is, I say respectfully, there's much more that must be done to improve the business and investment climate in Indonesia. And with all of your help today, we're committed to helping to support that. As members of the business community, you can help us identify the barriers we need to break down, the areas where we can make the most progress for our nation's mutual benefit. President Trump and I value your continued input on these issues. And we look forward to working with each one of you as we move forward to a system that maximizes jobs, growth, and a brighter future for Indonesia and the United States of America. The truth is that a stronger American economy means a stronger economy for Indonesia as well and for all of our trading partners. The United States is the driver of global growth, and under President Donald Trump, we're going to be driving global growth like never before. I promise you. President Trump and our administration are working around the clock to pass an agenda of lower taxes, less regulation, better infrastructure, and a renewed focus on American energy. I'm sure the businesses gathered here that from America will be glad to know that tax reform is going to be one of our top priorities. I don't have to tell you how the American tax code harms the business community at home and abroad. Our corporate tax rate is actually one of the highest in the developed world. It's 10% higher than the tax rate here in Indonesia. President Trump has a plan to slash the corporate tax rate, reform the tax code to make it simpler, flatter, and fairer. And rest assured, our tax reform plan will make the strongest economy in the world stronger still, and that will benefit all of the businesses that are represented here today. The same is true of President Trump's decisive action to cut through regulations and red tape that have been strangling American enterprise and companies that do business in our country. The President has already ordered every agency in Washington, D.C. to find 2 regulations to get rid of before issuing any new ones. And President Trump has already signed a dozen bills turning back the last administration's burdensome mandates, and he'll continue to work with Congress as we slash through red tape. Make no mistake about it. Under President Donald Trump, the era of overregulation and overtaxation is over. A new era of jobs and growth in the American economy has begun, and it will benefit America first, but it will benefit a growing economy with all of our trading partners, including Indonesia. Now, these are only a few of the President's policies. I could go on today, but I won't. I appreciate the feedback I received from so many of you at our roundtable about what our administration could continue to do to promote growth and opportunity. But rest assured, President Trump's agenda is going to renew America's reputation as the premier investment destination in the world to the benefit of our people and to the benefit of all with whom we do business. Now, I don't need to tell all of you in this nation of islands that President John F. Kennedy was right, that a rising tide will lift all boats. And as America grows, all of our partners, including Indonesia, will grow with us. You know, Indonesia and Southeast Asia are vitally important to America's economic future. And in the United States, you have no better partner and no better friend. Together with Indonesia and with all the businesses represented here, we're going to work to deepen our bond and build on the foundation we stand on today. You know, I'll leave Indonesia in just a few hours. As I do, I'll depart here deeply impressed by everything that I've seen. Indonesia's commitment to freedom, the rule of law, to human rights, and religious diversity has made a profound impact on me and my wife and our 2 daughters. Just yesterday, I had the honor and the privilege to visit Indonesia's national mosque, where the Grand Imam guided me and my family on a tour of that beautiful place. As I know, Vice President Khalid, as the chairman of the Indonesian Mosque Council, would agree, Indonesia's tradition of moderate Islam is an inspiration to the world. As we stood in that courtyard, the Grand Imam pointed to the spires of the Catholic Cathedral just rising over the wall. It's a testament to Indonesia's commitment to tolerance and religious freedom. In your nation, as in mine, we know that religion unifies, not divides. It gives us a foundation for hope and a brighter future for all of our people. And I commend the people of Indonesia for your example. You are inspiring the world. And with the leadership of President Trump and President Jokowi, I have faith. Faith that the friendship between the United States and Indonesia will grow. Faith that our strategic partnership will grow. And faith that our example of freedom, security, and prosperity will grow for the benefit of our people and for the benefit of the world. Thank you all for having me today. It's been a great honor.
It is now my honor to introduce the agreements that we will celebrate today. They've already taken their places. That was my next line. For the first signing, would Jeffrey Appleton, Senior VP, LNG Marketing, ExxonMobil, and Ibu Yeni Andayani, Director of Gas Directorate, Pertamina, please come to the stage. As Vice President Pence has already mentioned, we have celebrated a number of agreements this morning. We would now like to celebrate 2 more that highlight the partnership of Indonesia and the United States. The first one of these is an agreement between ExxonMobil and Pertamina for ExxonMobil to sell 1 million tons per year of liquefied natural gas to Pertamina for 20 years, commencing in 2025.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.